Pillar 12. We're going to start another video down in Gales area. So this is going to be one of your favorite spots when you come to us in May, June, and wave to Gail. All right, let's go upstairs. Left Gail behind down in the coffee shop. She'll learn your names before any of us. She's amazing. So you're going to have a lot of fun with Gail. So you may come from systems that don't have a Philips. You're probably LifePak or Zoll, and we don't want you to worry about that. All of the things that modern monitors do, they do in very similar ways, and the end skill set is the same. We still need you to be able to manually defibrillate, synchronize cardiovert, and also pace. So the Philips, and this is our mannequin, so the fidelity in our lab is this kind of medium to low Laerdal fidelity. So the mannequins don't have chest rise and fall and don't off-gas CO2 like some of the more sophisticated ones, but they do have nibbly bits so that they can be attached to the monitor, and they have software that can drive rhythms through the mannequin so the monitor can react to it, and then it allows us to fire in that skill set early on here with the mannequin and the monitor. So let's just dive in super fast again, not going through all the steps, not running a scenario, just like last time, these little quick hitter videos, hopefully that you find valuable. So Philips broke the cables into 5, probably, I'm not sure for what purpose other than it fits. So we have a 5-lead cable, but only 4 required placements on the mannequin, and we don't use limbs, we use the chest and abdomen. So we have a red for the red nibbly bit. Nothing unusual here, classic lead 2 placement. And then we have a black as the ground, but of course the machine will change the polarity of all the leads so that you can cycle through all the limb leads. And then this would normally be V1, but it's okay for it to not be contacted to the mannequin. It doesn't impact the tracing or what you see on the monitor in any way. So most monitors have a diagnostic side, and that's the right-hand side on the Philips. So we attach leads, we attach blood pressure cuffs, we attach O2 sap probes, end tidal CO2, all that stuff will come out of the right-hand side of the monitor. And then on the left-hand side of the monitor is patient management, so where we will defibrillate, cardiovert, and pace coming out of the left-hand side. And in lieu of sticky pads, these mannequins come with placements for the pads, so they're right there. It's indwelling. Too bad our patients didn't come that way. I can think of a couple of hairy guys in my career that could have used indwelling poles to ensure that we could cardiovert them. So now we're all set up from a patient management side and a diagnostic side. On, pretty simple, right? So we're going to turn this on. It's got a printer, obviously. Series of soft keys below. And don't feel like that after watching this video you are 100% ready to do this. I'm going to turn the printer off, and I'm going to silence alarms forever. Well, not forever, that was a quick one. Over here we'll do essentially for as long as the patient remains in the same position. So we talked about this in class the other day, but we've got this super regular, super fast, narrow QRS, so we have above the ventricle tachycardia, supraventricular tachycardia. And maybe we have a patient situation in which we decide that a synchronized cardioversion, that electricity is the appropriate therapy to try to terminate this arrhythmia. The key is the first hit sync. And in class this week I'll talk about this. We'll talk about why it's important for the machine to find the R wave and then to calculate mathematically a safe spot to deliver energy to terminate this arrhythmia without making it worse. And I'll follow up on that in class this week. So let's say that, common SVT, and there's a bit of a guideline that suggests how much we should dial it up, but let's say we go to 100, and then it's a 1, 2, 3 step process anytime you're delivering electricity. We like teams to confirm that sync is employed and that the machine has found the R wave, so we like to confirm. So Dave, I see hats, you see hats?
I see hats.
All right, thanks, man. We charge, make sure that everybody has cleared the patient, and we assume that they have, and then while watching the patient, ensuring safety, delivering my shock. In the field we'd be printing now, I'm just saving paper in the lab. Of course, not going to work because I didn't set it up to fix it. All right, so that's synchronized cardioversion. We could do that with tachy-wide arrhythmias, ventricular arrhythmias as well. And this time I'll actually give us a good sense that we've done something good. We'll have it shock into something better. We'll have it shock into something perfusing and happy. All right, so there we go. Now we've got a wide complex tachycardia, same idea. Anytime you shocked, you'll notice that sync is kicked out. That's safety to ensure that if you defibrillate the next time, you're able to defibrillate because of a worsening arrhythmia is the worst case scenario. But there are many, many, many paramedics that have delivered a second supposed synchronized cardioversion without resyncing, and then they've actually defibrillated and put that patient at risk. Happens all the time in our field. So we're going to make sure that you do this. Always, if you're choosing synchronized cardioversion, you must confirm that you've pressed sync and that we've got hats appearing above our waves, and usually good practice to confirm that with a partner. Let's leave it at 100, and then that's 1, choosing your energy, confirming sync. 2, charging, sucking power from the batteries to the capacitors. And then I'm clear, you're clear, we're all clear, watching the patient and defibrillating. And woo, look at this, we're saving lives. Awesome. Okay, so let's go back down to on, and let's change that arrhythmia. Let's make it a bradycardia. Just give me 2 seconds here, peeps. Let's make it a 3rd degree block. And nice and slow. Okay. So now we should have, there we go, starting to transition. So we have this complete disorder in our conduction system. We see evidence of atrial activity, and that's going, the P to P, if you were to march it out, is the same. The R to R is the same. No correlation between the two. Profoundly slow 3rd degree bradycardia. And now we're going to pace him. We decide that we couldn't correct this pharmacologically. There was a reason to try to speed this heart up and improve blood pressure, improve cognition. So first step is to the pacer. So we just turn to the pacer. Machine starts to sense where the R waves are. It gets a strong calculation of heart rate, though it's struggling right now. So this is the first step that you'll see. We would like to start by confirming rate. 60 to 80 and 70 seems fine, right? And now where students make a mistake is they don't start pacing, that they go immediately on the soft keys to pacer output, and they start. So if you go here and we start ramping up, and we're like, it's not working, it's never going to work. That's because we haven't started pacing. So we can go back down to the lowest milliamperage setting, and then we go to start pacing first. And now we'll see that at the rate, the preset rate we've set, that the machine is attempting, at that milliamperage, is attempting to disrupt conduction and take over as the pacemaking site transcutaneously through the skin. And it's not working because we're not delivering enough amperage yet. So now we can begin, while at the same time communicating with our patient who's got an altered level of consciousness or lack of consciousness, and also checking pulses. And peripheral perfusion is the key, so I drop my hand on the wrist. I want to feel this convert and feel the presence of a palpable peripheral pulse to know that I'm correcting this arrhythmia and improving hemodynamics. So we can just go up on a nice staged approach. People will give you differing viewpoints on how long to wait, but a nice slow staged approach. Somebody is passionate about it, listen to them, I guess. And I'm assuming very soon, because I said it, yeah, we've seen a change on the monitor. So we have 2 events. This first event is called electrical capture, at least electrically. An electrolyte moving across the membrane perspective, we've changed conduction in the heart. Our pacing site is now this transcutaneous pacer. And now we have to confirm whether or not that's made a change in the patient. So now we have to talk about the patient, interact with them, establish their LLC and their state of peripheral perfusion. If we don't have radial pulses, same patient, we would continue to go up. And then the next and final step is to confirm mechanical capture. I've changed patient condition. I have a return to peripheral perfusion. And then, not a lot of science to back it up. Most of us go up by 10% to lock it in, which is silly, but there you go. All right, that's our last video. That's our video for this week. See ya.